Hey y'all, welcome back to the DeBergerac channel. This is Jim, your humble host. It's the day after July 4th. We only got a couple days this week to get a video out to y'all. So we're gonna go over a few things. I want to give a shout out to Chris Malcolm. If you all saw my easy way to set up a dado head video, you saw this little thing in there. He asked me to make one. I sent him one. Apparently it never got there. Here's your piece, Chris. Look how much prettier it is than the one I had in the video. It's on the way. UPS instead of the United States Postal Service. We're going to do private carrier this time, and you'll get it soon. So the next thing we're going to show you is modifying a Kawasaki frame to put Ducati parts on it. Now this video is choppy and there's a couple of bumps and stuff in it because I did some of the filming myself, but we had a certain part of it done, and we'll have a full complete video of this later, but I want to give you guys an up-to-date progress to where we're at now.
Steering, basically the steering column hooks to front of the forks. So if you see a close-up view on the bottom, the Ducati is pressed in, the original Kawasaki is welded in. You need to use this bar so the bearings and everything work the same in the frame. So I need this shaft. So I need to cut this out of here, turn it so it fits inside this press shaft. I'm going to have to cut this shaft off clean with the triple tree and then put this inside here. And one other thing that we're doing is we're also using an ST3 Ducati swing arm. We're going to put it in the Kawasaki frame. Okay, the Ducati part is 1 inch wider than the frame. So that means that this lower cross member here has to be cut and the whole frame has to get wider by 1 inch. So we're going to figure that out as we go along. I'm seeing a few issues with it that need to be addressed. From here we're going to start on the front forks and then we'll get to the back part.
Alright, so the first part that we have to do is get this weld cut off the bottom of the old fork, because we're going to reuse that part of the fork. So I got chucked up in the lathe. I'm going to spin it, and then we're going to go ahead and keep trimming it until we get rid of the weld. So I think what we're going to have to do is cut all the webbing off and turn the outside down to the diameter we want it to be. Cut the webbing off, and I'm just going to turn the outside down until it gets to the dimension that I want.
What I'm doing right now is just milling this top surface off the Ducati. I already cut the stem pipe off, milling this down because you know we're going to have that little spacer off the Kawasaki stem pipe. So what I want to do is just take a little bit of material off from this one to make it so that the stem is in the same place. Made sure it was nice and square in there so the stem pipe sits flush.
So it's all nice and flush, the pipe. So then this is where the other piece will go in. We'll weld it on the bottom side, but on the top we're nice and clean now. Alright, so that's going to go on like that. Now obviously, as I said earlier, I have to add a stem to this. You can see it's about that much too short. So you see the difference in the length. I'd say about 3/8. So I'm going to add it a little bit longer and I can trim it off. And then once it's welded up, I'll turn this down to that inside diameter. So you can see how we going to easily retrofit the Kawasaki stem in the Ducati triple tree. This is the internal diameter. This is the extension piece that I need. Took a piece of stainless. This is going to fit on like that. It says no wobble in that. 738 in there, 738 on this piece. Weld it together and then I'll finish turning it, and that'll be the extension we need. Okay, so we're just going to use the bandsaw and cut the excess off. See, I already have it welded together. Okay, well here's the finished part. See, I have the shaft in, welded it around the bottom, and then I put it back in the lathe and machined the face of it off. So now whether this gets powder coated again or whatever, and then the bearing will have to go back on, but for now we're leaving the old bearing bushing on. This is going to slide in like so. Now of course when your bearings are in there, this will act better. Alright, so we're getting close. Got the Kawasaki frame in there, so the bearings will all line up in the frame. And we got the Ducati part on now. It's going to make it pretty slick. The next part is to get the hydraulics done, and I've separated the frame and we're working on that part. Make this a nice video showing how to transform an old Kawasaki frame into Ducati parts. Why don't y'all make something cool? Thanks for watching. Subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Talk at y'all next week.